Yalla Limited, and a very fascinating company called Palm Fusion, Derek Hugenkamp. Please give them a round of applause. Okay, so we're here to talk about all things construction, IoT, and smart city. We're going to Derek a bit. So Derek, before we get to your particular companies, tell the audience a bit about your crazy life experience across many industries, especially real estate, because it's going to inform why you ended up in blockchain.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you, BSV Blockchain, to be here. And I'm happy to be back here in Riyadh and soon in Jeddah. I love Saudi Arabia, and I mean, I've been in real estate for a long time, very long time. Even when I was a kid, when I grew up in the Caribbean, then I was already in real estate. I lived in a tent in Tanzania, and between the animals, I was scouting luxury tented camps. I was doing backpacker hotel chains. I was doing 5-star hotel chains. I was doing express models. I was creating new destinations from Africa to Asia to Europe. And then at a certain point, I ended up in the Middle East, working mainly on projects like Al Barari and like Bloom Holding and like Jumeirah Golf Estate and like other projects all around the world, including Thailand, Malaysia, Holland, Spain, everywhere. And then at a certain point, I know how to create a new destination. I know how to get all the brands. I know how to do everything. And then I thought, oh wow, we need something unique, right? Because always when I sell something or build something or create something, it has to be unique. So what is unique? Technology, metaverse. Metaverse is unique. Biometrics inside is unique. Things people don't really use. I mean, I think smart homes is already old. I even like to call smart cities conscious cities. Not even smart anymore. Conscious is the right word, in my opinion, because you have to get the spiritualism and the nature and the technology all together. It should be all together. And then, of course, the blockchain, right? Because the blockchain is how you can solve a lot of trust, transparency, and a lot of seamlessness for the real estate projects. So that's why I started to create Yalla Properties and Yalla Limited. And that's how I got into this space.
So tell us about Palm Fusion, because we're going to see a couple of video demonstrations of it.
Yeah, so one of them is, for example, if you do a project, you need special technologies, right, which can run on blockchain also. For example, I'm chairman of Palm Fusion Technologies. So Palm Fusion Technologies is something very unique. It is the palm of your hand. I scan the veins inside your hand. I scan the print of your hand, and I scan the geometrics of your hand. These three are fully patented and IP'd worldwide. It is GDPR compliant, it is fully PSD2 compliant, it is fully COVID compliant, fully contactless, and it's one of the only in and outside biometrics in the world, without intrusion. So what do you use it for? Your hand is your access control. Your hand is your electronic ID. Your hand is your payment system. So what does it mean? Your hand is your key. Your hand is your passport. Your hand is your ID. Your hand is your everything. Is your even your wallet.
Your wallet.
So without any intrusion, no chips inside, nothing, with real life verification, and a really in and outside solution, which is really unique. And this is for me the future. Because if you look at the EU, for example, European Union, GDPR is a big thing, right? This is GDPR compliant. Same, we solve all this, and then you have to be, of course, on the blockchain with several of the features around it or the feature itself.
I'm going to ask you later how you scan my veins, but 'cause that's a little creepy, Derek. But here's a quick video.
So here you see that they're scanning the product in the supermarket, right? And then she asks, how do you want to pay, right? And then he says, I want to pay by palm. So then it's very simple. He puts his palm on the time of light camera, and that's it. So one split second, you're paid. You don't need to swipe your card, you swipe your hand. Then he gets his receipt, physical receipt, and he gets his receipt on his phone.
Now tell us what Secure ID is and how it relates to Palm Fusion.
Yeah, so we have the Palm Fusion company, which is now a Swedish company, and the access control. Here you see some access control. This is the old version, right? Now it's like really small, and it goes even to a chip. Zero failure, zero downtime. Before you had to lay your hand, now it's completely contactless. And now it can be between, even restarting cars. Now it can be within a few centimeters up to 20 centimeters. And also it's being used a lot in education. So imagine you can, with your hand, when you're 70, you can see in your own database what you were drawing when you were 5 years old by scanning your hand. This is for lockers in the gym, for example. So you can imagine that you can integrate it everywhere, right? And this is really, really unique. And this is the access control one, and the access control one is the most easiest application, right? Of course, with Palm Pay, we go a little bit further because you connect your wallet with it and you go a bit further. And then, of course, with electronic ID, it even goes one step further because you have a lot of more regulation.
All right, fantastic, fascinating. And we're going to ask you in a second how you integrate with blockchain. What I'm showing you all now is not currently on the blockchain, but it is a animated image of the road Gantry system in Singapore, which uses IoT devices as cars, vehicles go in and out of Singapore to track, for example, the identity of drivers on the road, whether you are actually driving an electric vehicle versus a non-electric vehicle, so that the city-state can incentivize more environmental sustainable vehicles, and it generates lots of data, 160,000 trips per hour, 4 million trips a day, 1.4 billion trips a year, lots of data that, isn't now, but certainly could be managed on a blockchain. I think this is the kind of future of mass mega data usage, as well as the combination with the transfer of value to incentivize conscious, behavior, as you said. Maximilian, let's go back to you. First of all, what do you think of Palm Fusion? How might you deploy that in the construction industry?
It's a very interesting technology. It can have some applications on site to determine which site workers, which employees are actually on the site, and when they come, when they leave. This is not only an HR, a matter of human resources, but also construction site safety.
Right. You can log and track who's coming in and out quickly, and log that data to the blockchain, for example, or control who accesses a construction site.
Yes. I'm sure there might be some other applications too, but this is what I can think of right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be, for example, what is one of our partners is Dormakaba, which have all the robotics, or the machines, right? And there should be certain people who operate those machines. Those machines cannot be operated by everyone. It is certain people, and that is where you can use the Palm integration scanner really a lot.
All right.
That's also on the construction side, and of course with the use of blockchain everywhere, right?
Could you code machines to not actually turn on if it's not activated by the right Palm? Interesting.
And even it has to be alive, the Palm.
Right. And that's good for access control, right? To secure buildings or secure areas. Maximilian, you were going to mention a couple of the other features of your super app?
Yes. One of the features of BAO app I would like to mention is the circular construction marketplace. Circular construction aims to get the most of the construction materials from the construction materials, because construction materials account for the majority of the carbon dioxide emissions in the world. And for sustainability, we would like to promote circular construction. And reuse is one of the practices in the circular construction. And in our circular construction marketplace, reuse of materials and components from demolished structures will be possible. Companies, government agencies, and individuals will be able to buy and sell peer-to-peer construction materials that from the demolished structures. I mean, it's not only about buildings, but we should think about dams, roads, bridges, all kinds of structures. I mean, this is certainly the first application using blockchain. But there's one company who's trying to do this in Germany, but they are doing this actually on paper. They go to the construction site and write everything on paper, and of course this is not scalable. It's very difficult. I can't imagine they can scale. We can scale this on blockchain, and this can actually change the way we are building, because the construction industry is responsible of a huge amount of carbon dioxide emissions. And especially in Europe, where I live in Germany, the government is incentivizing sustainability, and I think circular economy in general and circular construction in particular will be one of the most prominent concepts of the coming decade.
Okay. All right, we'll wrap up with Derek. So Derek, why use blockchain and not a private database? What are the advantages you're looking to get out of having some type of your Palm Fusion data on blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's trust. I think it's transparency. It's traceability. It is, I mean, it's obvious, right? I mean, especially if you're going to work with electronic ID, the data is so sensitive and it's so important then to use blockchain. There is just no, in my opinion, no better solution than blockchain for that. I mean, if you talk access control and you do a centralized server in a building, it's different, right? But you will need the blockchain for the Palm Pay, right? And you will need the blockchain for the Palm ID, because otherwise it's just not trustable. It's not secure. It's just impossible. I mean, it is possible, but blockchain, for example, the BSV, would be a really good solution for those problems. I mean, to work seamlessly, fast, efficient, transparent, traceable. That's blockchain, right?
Yeah. All right. Last question. How do you scan my veins?
Okay, I use a time-of-flight camera and other secret stuff, which we have patented.
Okay.
And it's absolutely non-intrusive and fully contactless. So yeah, it is fantastic. So, but I can read your mind also.
Yes, so Derek can read minds and scan veins. Please give a round of applause to Derek and Dr. Maximilian for their contribution.